Okay, so now that we're getting ready to flame, what I want to do is make sure that I get different parts of the denture at the same time, because I don't want to heat it up too much and have the teeth move on me. So what I'll do is see, it's mostly clean, which is going to minimize the amount of flame I need to do, which is good. So I'll take this. I like this one a lot because you can really just do intermittent flaming. With the hand-out, it tends to be more constant flame, and so I like to just do like this. And you always shoot the flame this way. So, and it's better if you can hold it a little bit down so the gravity will help some of the wax flow away from the teeth. And see, once I have a nice sheen, I'm going to go to the other side. I'm flaming. You notice how I'm flaming away from the teeth, so any wax on the teeth will melt away and not back onto the teeth. So now that I've done the buckle, I'm going to go ahead and let that sit and move on to the mandibular. One thing you also don't want to do is after you flame, do not put it back in occlusion and start checking stuff and making adjustments, because putting even something as simple as going into excursives can move your teeth and tip them after you've heated up the wax. So do the same thing for this. Just nice and gentle flame. Just want to make sure that it gets nice and smooth and it looks good.
Alright, so I talked to you about this a little bit earlier, but basically the design previous to this was basically this without anything on, so there was no eye bar.
Pretty nice. And now what you don't want to do is, you can see here there's a couple little holes, divots. Don't continually flame and flame and flame until those go away. It's really easy to just take your wax master, dip it in a little sheet of wax and just put a little dot there, smooth it out, and then reflame after that. So let that sit, and in the meantime, this should have been cooling. If just to be safe, I might take it and blow some air on it to make sure it's cooled down, and then I'll go ahead and I'll do the palatal side. So just getting it nice and smooth. Okay, so you get the idea. Basically, I'm going to smooth it out, and you kind of want it to look, basically like that. One of the last things I like to do at the end, there's a few things I like to do right before turning it. So I'll take this pantyhose, which you all should either have, or you can get it at any grocery store, or CVS, or anything like that. And I'll take it and just kind of rub it on the teeth at the end, and just this will take off any residual thin layers of wax that you have, and so you can already see it getting a lot shinier. So this is going to help, and I'll even rub it, even go up onto the gingiva, and it gives it this nice sheen and makes it look really, really nice and clean. You're basically just, part of its presentation. If they like the way it looks, it's going to help. So you can see how nice and shiny that is. And again, do it, everywhere. So once you get it all shined up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back on the articulator. And again, I'll set flame, everything like that. So just for sake of argument, we're going to say this is already all done. So once it's all, I let it cool down, and it's all polished and everything, and it looks good. I'm going to go ahead and check my excursives again, make sure nothing is fallen out of excursives when I flamed it. I'm also going to, or fallen out of centrics rather. I'm sorry. I want to check centrics and make sure nothing's come out of centrics. Then you also check excursives, and if you lost one or two, if you lost a centric, maybe shove it back in and then fix it and reflame it. But if you lost one centric, there's 12 or 13 centrics per side even just on the buckle. You don't want to start messing with it and messing up your fistoning if you lose one or two. The other thing that I forgot to mention is make sure you check protrusive. If you have centrics and excursives, your protrusives should be fine. And yeah, so then right before I turn it in, everything's good. And what I'll do is I'll go to the sink and I'll take a piece of gauze or a paper towel, and I'll get it wet and get some soap, and I'll lightly rub it all over. That gives it kind of an extra sheen. It's kind of a dirty little secret, but that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this and polish it all up, and then we're going to take it down to Dr. Bumer and see if he can tell us how we did.